Hello everybody, my name is Guillem Belmar and today I'm going to talk to you about minority languages in social media, and we are going to analyze the current practices and attitudes and discuss future perspectives. But wait a minute, what is social media? Social media are internet-based sites and services that promote social interaction between participants, no matter how far they are from one another. Oh, I get it, the email is social media. Well, yes, but it's not the only one. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of different social media platforms available. And you know what? They're a fantastic tool to learn and practice minority languages. You may be wondering though, why would anybody start researching social media? Well, in 2013, there were an estimate 174.2 million people using social networks in Western Europe alone. These numbers are probably much higher nowadays, and especially for the youth, computer-mediated communication, also known as CMC, makes up a large percentage of their daily communicative experience. CMC has actually had an impact on many fields of research, such as bilingual and multilingual practices, communication and language use, discourse construction, identity construction, language activism, awareness, documentation, education, revitalization, vitality, linguistic landscape, and socialization. Oh, that was a lot of information. But why is social media important for minority languages? Well, it is an essential tool to bring scattered communities together, such as the Roma, or for immigrants in general to keep in touch with speakers of their language. Besides, for many languages, social media is the only context where new registers and new settings can be explored, and it is by far the easiest way to acquire digital language presence, which narrows the digital language divide, raises awareness of linguistic diversity, gives you a boost of confidence to use the language, and creates a positive image of the minority language. But I wanted to know how much of a real impact social media has on minority languages, not just the possibilities. So I started this research to try to find out how often minority language speakers use the language on social media, the reasons that may prevent them from doing so, the role of the language in the virtual linguistic landscape, and the general attitudes towards these languages in social media. To do so, I designed a questionnaire using Google Form, and I shared it on different social media platforms. I received 259 answers from 64 different nationalities. Males and females make up about a half each, 54 different mother tongues, ages between 14 and 70, and a little bit over 3/4 of them claim to speak a minority language. And wow, was I surprised! An astonishing 81.5% of the minority language speakers surveyed claim they use the language on social media. Granted, only 19.5% claim to always use it, but this is great news compared to only 2.9% who claim they never use it. Even more surprising was that 84% claimed that friends also use the language on social media to some extent, indicating the minority language is quite present in their virtual linguistic landscape. Those who do not use the minority language on social media, or use it less often, give two main reasons: lack of confidence in their ability to use or write their language, and a desire to be understood. And what about the attitudes towards the use of minority languages in social media? Well, they appear to be largely positive, but let's have a closer look. There seems to be little to no disagreement on these statements, since over 80% of the participants totally agree that using minority languages in social media increases their visibility, that minority languages can be used to chat with friends, and that they can be used to tweet about interesting local events. Between 70 and 80% of the participants totally agree that minority languages should be used in social media, that social media platforms should be available in minority languages, that these languages can be used to post some interesting event on Facebook, and they claim that they'd use their minority language if they spoke one. However, about 24% of the participants seem to feel excluded when they see a post in a language they do not understand, and only 69.5% think it is okay to use a minority language to tweet about an international event. And there is no agreement whatsoever on whether posts in minority languages should be bilingual or monolingual. The use of minority languages in social media seems to be quite frequent, and they are often significantly present in the speaker's network of friends. Lack of confidence and a desire to be understood seem to be the main obstacles for the use of minority languages, even when attitudes are overall positive. But be wary! Even in social media, minority languages are at risk of being relegated to a mere symbolic use. So go on, tweet something in a minority language.